Namaskar. Namaskar from our channel, The Consultant's View. We know the today's hot topic is sustainable development and the sustenance. So in all the infrastructure projects, whatever we do, we keep in mind the sustenance and sustainable development is a major factor. All engineers and the consultants should be reassured on this. So one of such factor is the groundwater, which we normally discuss in the water sector, to be specific in the water resource sector. So as you understand that today's discussion will be on the groundwater hydrology. And to discuss with on this, we have Professor Dr. Amlanjyoti Kar. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Sir. Now, before we deep down to the discussion, let us give a brief introduction of Dr. Amlanjyoti Kar. And detailed discussion or details of Professor Dr. Amlanjyoti Kar will be given in the description box of the channel. Professor Dr. Amlanjyoti Kar is the former Regional Director of Central Groundwater Board, Government of India. He has extensively worked on various aspects of groundwater in pan-India basis. His remarkable studies include his journey, long walks in Andaman and Nicobar Island, Sundarban area in West Bengal, Odisha, also in West Bengal and in Northeast states. He is associated with several national training institutes, including IIRS, Dehradun. He was a member of Task Force of Water Supply and Disaster Management of Andaman and Nicobar Administration, Port Blair. He has been entrusted in various empowered committees on water supply in the states of West Bengal and Arunachal Pradesh. He acted as the Vice Chairman and currently a member of the Research Committee of Water Resources and Conservation and Earth Science in the DST&BT, that is Department of Science and Technology and Biotechnology, Government of West Bengal. He is also a consultant to ADB and NABARD on water supply and irrigation. Presently, he is visiting faculty on hydrology in CU and WBSU. He was facilitated with prestigious Dr. J. Connings Brown's Gold Medal, MGMI, that is Mining, Geological and Metallurgical Institute of India. He served as the Secretary of International Association of Hydrogeologists, India chapter during 2022-24. He has authored several international and national publications in peer-reviewed journals, in symposia and conferences. Yes, sir. So let us start our discussion today. Before we deep down to our discussion, please let us know, tell us, mainly for the viewers, your long journey with groundwater hydrology during your professional career.
To be very frank, my journey with groundwater, it started with my joining to Central Groundwater Board, Ministry of Water Resources, long back in the year of 1987.
Or 1987? Okay.
Because, in our Calcutta University, I studied geology, where the groundwater discipline is taught. But it was not given that much priority, especially in the Eastern University itself. Both in Jadavpur, Calcutta University, Presidency College, in Indian School of Mines, even in those days, they were not given much priority to groundwater. Okay. So while before joining, I was not getting that much of idea about it. But considering its futuristic, necessity, I opted in our UPSC examination. Actually, I entered through geologist examination in those days, now called it is geoscientific examination, in 1985. So then there I opted for Central Groundwater Board first, then Geological Survey of India second. I thought that although I was studying, I was a student of petrology and mineralogy. Basically, it is a different thing. It is related to genesis of rocks, etc. They are
Petrology, genesis of rocks.
Genesis of rocks, and then your its geochronology, that is age dating, etc., etc. So these were geochemistry. These were the basic subject. So these core things are dealt in Geological Survey of India. But I thought that possibly if I join groundwater, that will be better. I thought, and that thinking, that is proved true nowadays. And I
Yeah.
find that it is really the science of today. And then after my joining, I traveled in many states, and gradually I got lot of interest. And my interest first came as I joined in Bhubaneswar. I got my guru there. He was basically my senior in Presidency College,
Guru means
Mr.
master.
Mr. Subhojyoti
Okay,
Das. He was my director, but my guru. So he taught me. He used to take me into the field. Whatever I was observing, he was explaining me.
Mhm.
So in this way, gradually I picked up my interest in the science groundwater. And really speaking, I got a lot of interest. So I started traveling more and more field areas. First, I almost visited many corners of Odisha. Then on my transfer to Kolkata, West Bengal, that I was sent to first to Sikkim, then Malda. Then for a long time, I was actually posted to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which I can tell you that is a big part of my life, professional life, where I could do many works, and I took a lot of interest in working there. And nowadays, after my superannuation, so these are many things. And also I worked in the Sundarban areas for last several years. I could find many important observations in the coastal areas of West Bengal, as I also formally seen in Odisha. Then on my superannuation, now I am actually taking more interest in northeastern states. As prior to my in my last page of my service, I took another subject very rigorously, that is spring hydrology or
Spring
hill slope
hydrology.
hydrology. Yeah,
Well, another name, what you told?
that is hill slope hydrology.
Hill slope hydrology.
Hill slope
Okay.
hydrology, that is hydrology in hydrological aspects in the hills. What is happening? How the streams are actually forming, landslides are forming. I took a lot of interest in that while I was working in Sikkim area. Then for quite some time I was in Arunachal Pradesh. So there I could see many things which are very new in the field, and I got a lot of interest. So nowadays, as a consultant of ADB, also now currently I am working for NABARD. I am working in the northeastern states, and I am really I'm getting a lot of interest even today, and finding many new things which could be added to the literature. So
Okay.
this is my journey. It is going on still, and tomorrow I am going for field work to Arunachal. Yeah. So tomorrow I will be going for field work to
So
Arunachal.
you have because your course subject is much more related to the field work. I mean, wherever you work, it was much more concentrated on the field work also.
Actually, to be very frank, in this regard, nowadays I am not bound in the core subject of geology. I am also basically I am now a hydrologist.
Bigger.
So in a
bigger
bigger form, I am
Bigger
working
domain, okay.
hydrological aspects of geological formations. On that I am working much, and in my view, actually, this field is it is the core things for civil engineers also.
Yeah.
Civil engineers, they are also field people. If
Yeah.
you want to do good work, you must know its field implications, what is happening. If you don't know if you want to find out the foundation, so you have to go to the field. Or if somebody take the core and you are doing its compression and compressive strength in the laboratory, your idea will not be
obviously.
complete. You have to see where it is happening. So both the subjects, water resources engineering, then your civil engineering, these are then the various aspects of civil engineering, geotechnical engineering, environmental, these are having much more that field implications.
Okay,
Water
sir,
resources
tell
engineering.
me, so as you are very much associated with the field also, so please tell me some of the challenges, considering our limited time today.
Challenges means obviously as regards the field work, I got many challenging works. First of all, I'll tell you first the remarkable works.
Mhm.
One of the remarkable works I could do that was in the very early career in Odisha. That was for actually, as you know, you have heard of Chasnala. That in Chasnala coal mine there was a lot of inrush into the mine. So a lot of people died in the eastern coalfield. It was nearby Dhanbad. Actually, while I was working in Odisha, work came to us. It came from interministerial. It was an interministerial body. They gave this work to our department, Central Groundwater Board, to assess the water pressure or whatever water, even at say 1 kilometer depth, 500 meter depth, because there is a belt called Sukinda belt, Sukinda chromite belt. That is the huge deposit of chromite. It is the third largest deposit of chromite in Asia. So there, the deposit is discovered up to 1 kilometer.
There may be another 1
It is
kilometer.
continuously. It is going vertical. It is a geological material. So it is vertically that ore body is going. So it is going up to greater depth. So my department had to say that whether there is a water pressure at greater depth. So that work that my Guruji he gave me, you go and do this work. So I did it, and that was the first challenging work I have done in my year. And we could see that after some time actually that hydraulic connection is vanishes. Hydraulic connection is there, but after some time it is becoming very much impervious type. It is becoming very impervious type of materials, products within the earth it is formed. So ultimately that connection is not there. So water cannot go deep down.
Okay.
So in this way we told that there is this. So some clayey material, it may be slaked with some water, but water inrush won't happen. There may be that caving in of slope. There may be some slides, but water won't go such deeper level. So this was one of the things. Then I will tell you many challenging works I could do, especially in Andaman.
Yeah, tell something about
Andaman. Both before tsunami and after tsunami. Before tsunami, actually in Andaman, I think you also have gone to Andaman Port there and other places. In Andaman, actually, although there is a lot of that rainfall is there, but during in the entire time, except the rainy period, there is water scarcity, huge water scarcity. It is main cause is several causes are there. So and many times there are two monsoons. We receive generally one monsoon. It starts in June and ends in September, October. But it is two monsoon. It starts in April, ends in September, October. Again, some November to January. If that monsoon, if it is receded or never happens, then Andaman goes out in the doldrum.
Okay.
All the springs dies out. Many springs dies out. Then your die out. Then your that reservoirs, which are basically rainwater harvesting dams. Only they collect the rainfall. So those actually water level goes down. So water supply shatters. So in such a situation in 2001, because of some lapses, because the administration took some decision that maybe there will be rainfall. They believe in rain god. Yeah, so they thought that there may be some rainfall. So every day water supply may be there. But that was found wrong. Yeah, that was found wrong. So every day that from the reservoir water was taken. And there was no rainfall, even up to the month of July, August. So in January, there was huge water scarcity, and Honorable Lieutenant Governor, he had to say that Deepvasiyo, aap thoda mainland chala jaiye. You please go back to mainland because there is no more water. About such type of situation reached and that
it is pre.
It is pre-tsunami 2001-2. I am telling you. So it was end of 2001. This thing happened. Then what happened? There are a lot of human cries. What is there? Some water, some water. In this way, people started hunting water. So many times, and he is also currently the MP of that place, Mr. Vishnu Pada Rai. He has gone. Actually, he's a man of basically from Havra area. So he's a settler there nowadays. So he called me once. There was one phone that Rajnima, there will be a meeting. So you have to come. And in those days, it is very difficult if you want to go to Port Blair or Andaman. Anytime you cannot go, because for non-islanders, ticket won't be okayed anytime. You have to book it with proper time, otherwise you won't get. So in those days, some quota used to be released from Andaman administration. So he told that Mr. Sanwaj Hassan, I've talked to him. He will give you your quota.
Okay.
When at that time he was a civil aviation minister. So he will release your quota. You have to come tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
There will be meeting. So when I reached that Rajnivas, that is Lieutenant Governor's house, so there was a big meeting. Many people from Delhi also, several plus DHI people are there also. So they came there. I was told that Lieutenant himself, he was actually our ambassador, Mr. A&N Jha. So he told me that I am told that there is an island. There is huge water, spring water. Ranchi wale bolta hai, but people from Ranchi, they actually, by English people, they took them for cutting trees, etc., for deforestation, etc., cutting trees. So they settled there. So they are good water hunter. They know, they like these springs. You know, in the Jharkhand and other places also, they like that wall. So I was told that that those people, they are telling there are big springs. You go and study and report.
Okay.
So immediately I rushed. And I was given really facilitation. So I camped there for 15 days. Many people from Andaman Public Works Department, heads up to them also, they gave lot of infrastructure. So people used to catch fish from the sea. In the jungle mein mangal, we are taking fish inside that island. That is called Ratland Island. If you go to Port Blair, that is in the opposite of Port Blair, in the south. So there I could find some 16 springs, and
unexplored at that point.
it is unexplored. Nobody water unabatedly is going to the sea till date. Also now it is somewhere it is captured. So 16 springs, you cannot imagine. It is the biggest spring. Maybe nobody. If it is also somebody should see whether it may be the biggest in the world also. Every day 36.5 lakh gallons, that is 180 lakh liters of very good quality water is going to the sea. I measured it. I gave the report. It was given submitted to the Lieutenant Governor's office through APWD on 15th of February. I went there on 1st of February. 15th of February, I completed that report and gave. I measured that quantum also. So the through Bhinoch and other different places. So after some time, and also I gave the estimate of subsurface flow also. So immediately the then Chief Secretary, he's no more, he's Dr. Padmanabhan, he immediately okayed and opened the interconnection of water. That is immediately through barge. Barge means barge. Through barge, that water started coming to Port Blair. Through 2-3 mighty springs, one mighty springs, Chain Nala. From there, water started coming. And after a long battle, the Andaman administration could okay it from Government of India. In 2007, it was first okayed. And then ultimately, it got the approval. Then many springs were connected. Both the places, I told that you can take the water through undersea or oversea. Okay. But oversea they did not like, because there are small ships. Ships are going also. Small ships are going. So why to disturb that channel? So undersea it is coming to Port. It will come to Port Blair. That was my plan. So this much quantum you will get. So immediately that first it started through springs and that is through ships and ships and barges. Then in 2019 all the works was completed, and 2021 through one international tender that undersea pipeline is now over. Now water is coming directly, but all these springs are not yet
captured.
So now in no time, if it is captured fully, this is the most sustainable water supply to the Port Blair city.
It's a
Everybody is
great
telling.
achievement,
Yes,
sir.
yes. That
Yeah,
is the great one of the
Yeah.
biggest thing in my life. And also I first proved it that the successful application of subsurface dam, not
I
dam,
got it.
subsurface dam.
Yeah.
Subsurface dam and their localization in different areas, that also helped alleviation of that rural water supply in several villages where there was no water.
Yeah.
Because of geological reasons, if you drill well, also dug well or drill well, you won't get water. But through those in the small streams, etc., you will get good water.
So
Very
maybe,
good one.
Maybe it is due to tsunami effect.
No,
It
it
was
was pre-tsunami. It was pre-tsunami
pre-tsunami.
things, and after tsunami also those type of structures came into use.
Okay.
So both in the tsunami and pre-tsunami, after tsunami, during tsunami also, I traveled all the islands for mitigation of rehabilitation of water supply.
Okay.
So there, I remember that our honorable Priyanjan Dasmunsi ji, he was our minister at that time. I also accompanied him. Andaman administration sent me with him.
Okay.
But we have not seen, because he immediately went there. I think it was in the 6th or 7th of January. It happened in 26th of January, 6th of January. So he has seen all the islands already. So you please take him. So with him, I went there, and he has visited few islands like Karnikobar and others. So this was one of the most challenging works I have done. And currently I am doing now work in Tripura, and there I could do some work for the industry department, and there for Asian Development, of course, Development Bank, and with their facilitation, I could find out many things. What actually it is not yet learned by the that water supply department's PhD. So soon after all the publications are coming out, or I will submit all these things to government also. ADB wants that I should make a seminar. So that stress in aquifer, Tripura people is not knowing yet. Where that aquifer, where there is good water, they know. Many places there is no water, but that why it is that reason that could not find.
Sir, you are the specialist in water hunter, as a water hunter.
Actually, that I cannot tell, but really through my extensive field work, etc., I could assess the potentiality of an aquifer, or understands that feasibility of of any area of the geological formations through my of course some studies, etc. But
Okay,
one thing is that one who is working in the field, he must go for hydrological test. These are very much important.
Sir, my next question will be, groundwater is difficult to manage due to uncertainties, you know that, especially because of its limited understanding. So why that limited understanding?
Limited,
Because because you have persuaded it. You have tried to go down and down and down to have the knowledge on that. But in overall, why there is a limited understanding on this?
Recently, I think it was a slogan in 2022 or so, that it was a slogan from UN. That is actually basically it is an obscured source. You cannot see groundwater. Groundwater is an obscured source. It remains hidden or occult. So you cannot see. For that reason, the uncertainty is, many people, they don't understand where water is. So for that reason, if suppose you are exhausting, you are over exploiting water also, unless you study it, you cannot understand where we are, what is happening. So in this regard, it is so uncertain.
Okay, sir. Please brief in short on groundwater, surface water, interconnection and transboundary issues, because you have discussed a lot on this with me. So how groundwater hydrology is directly linked with surface water hydrology.
In this regard, I will request you, as also to the viewers who are listening to me, please go through a document of United States Geological Survey.
Sir, repeat again. Document of?
That is in the net.
Okay.
So that I am telling you what is there. You please download surface water, groundwater, a single source.
Okay. They are basically a single source.
It is a single source. Some places groundwater goes to surface water, some places surface water goes to ground. Suppose in the high altitude, always the groundwater it is feeding the rivers. But in the while you coming to the plain and other places, many times the surface water is also helping the groundwater for its recharging, as also sometimes because of over exploitation, the river water also moves from some place to other.
But it is in that case it is very difficult to put a surface water specialist and a groundwater specialist.
Both should be there. Both should work in unison. Both should work
That means it is a teamwork.
hand by hand. That should
it
be
cannot
teamwork.
be individual. Okay, my preference is surface water. You put a surface water specialist on to explore that. That cannot happen.
Recently, I think you were also a part of that team. We have done some work for West Bengal government from ADB. We were working for DHI at that time. So there we are actually trying to. I was given that task to estimate that what is the role of groundwater in the flow of Rupnarayan. Because in the Rupnarayan we find that in some window, say from February, March to April, May, June, April, May, before that monsoon comes, that in that window, the water in the Rupnarayan, at least up to Kolaghat even, it is getting deteriorated because of some seawater ingress in the river, which is totally, it is not known. People in the tidal rivers, of course, it is also a tidal river. But in Ganga, the tide was much mighty and it was happening, we know. But because of Farakka, it is flushing out. But in Rupnarayan, it is not like that. It is only depending on the because there is no Ganga, it is having that ice melt water also. But nothing is coming. It is coming from the plateau areas, from different Rupnarayan, plateau areas and from upland. It is water is coming. Basically, it is coming from groundwater, and during monsoon,
basically the Rupnarayan is charged is predominantly from groundwater.
But during monsoon, it is getting copious flow from the catchment. But basically, if the groundwater flow diminishes because of heavy groundwater exploitation, what is happening now in West Bengal because of that boro cultivation and other. So for that reason, that rivers are getting lessened flow. So this is one of the big causes. What for that we are getting some quality deterioration in the that Rupnarayan. So that was in my view that is the main cause, and many of the rivers it is like that. But if you think of that in the eastern side, it is in Bangladesh, etc. In Bangladesh, that Padma Delta, there is problem like us. There is problem, similar problem, because of we are taking some water from that Padma area to Farakka because otherwise our total system will collapse. If we don't get that Farakka water, our entire West Bengal and right from that Farakka to Diamond Harbour, it will that water supply system, entire river ecology will go down. Similarly, in the Padma Delta, Padma part also, there is some problem. There is some salinity index there. But if we think in terms of Meghna Delta, it is wide. It is very, very mighty, and it is getting Brahmaputra and Meghna, all those rivers, those systems, they are getting plenty of water. For that reason, there is no such problem as we are finding in the eastern part of the Gangetic Delta.
Okay, sir. My next question is very interesting. It is regarding that monitoring, groundwater monitoring. I think it is very essential. If the monitoring system is robust, many uncertainties can be reduced. So how this robustness can be achieved in terms of monitoring?
I think if you remember, you asked once that groundwater is called that it is uncertain. Science is quite uncertain. People don't understand. So to get rid of this uncertainty, if we monitor, unless we monitor it, because we have to see the movement of water table, the movement of.
No, it is can be intermittent.
No, it will be throughout, so that you can know. It is just like ECG. You can know, as through ECG we know about the heart. So similarly, if you monitor the water level, you can know that how it is moving, how it is, how the stress on, suppose there is some stress on the aquifer. So water will go down. If there is good recharge, water will come up. So with this, you can very well explain that what is happening to the aquifer, how endangered it is. For that reason, that groundwater monitoring is a must, and the robust it is. So because our country is now the highest groundwater extractor of the world, highest groundwater extractor of the world. 62% of the total groundwater resources, that is, we are extracting every year. 62%. So you can well imagine, after that there is some portion, it is for irrigation only, and after that there is good share, it is for drinking and domestic. So gradually water security is being lost in our country. Gradually the water security we are losing.
Sustenance will come.
We are losing the water security. It will be a serious problem. Often we hear about Chennai, and then your several places of that Latur and Mumbai. In these places in Latur, it was heard that through wagon the water was actually carried there. In often it is coming in Bengaluru and in Chennai, that Mumbai, the water stress. So water stress is everywhere. In our capital of our country, in Delhi, water scarcity is very, very serious. So the scenario is like this.
Sir. My next question, sir. Groundwater is an important resource which directly contributes to achieve sustainable goals, as I told earlier. But it receives direct or indirect influence from anthropogenic, political, cultural, and socio-economic factors. Any initiative on groundwater management and regulation appears to face a strong confrontation from people and politics. It is my view. Sir, if you agree, how to overcome it for a better management of groundwater and a sustainable future?
It is a core reality of our country as also the world. As you know, because of the climate change and also the huge population explosion in our country as also all over the world, demand for water has gone up, and also the surface water sources in many places, those are being dying out, and the glaciers are receding, rivers are actually losing that sustainability. For that reason, entire stress is coming on groundwater, and groundwater availability is so that even a farmer or anybody, they can access to it at his doorstep, at his own plot. So its easy accessibility, it made it very popular. With some amount of economy or some money, he can access it. He can access it. For that reason, the stress on groundwater, it is ever rising. It is going up. It is continuously going up. So for that reason, it is losing sustainability. As you are telling that it is a big factor. It is a big factor. Now, suppose we have to regulate it, but because of huge groundwater extraction, we listen about your arsenic pollution, fluoride pollution. Fluoride pollution, of course, it is not having direct relation with the over-exploitation, but arsenic is having direct connection with the over-exploitation of groundwater. If we look at our northwestern side, in Punjab, in Gujarat, in Rajasthan, and many other states, now uranium has come into groundwater. Uranium has come into groundwater. Selenium in Gurdaspur and few other districts in Punjab, that selenium has come into the groundwater. In many villages, the villages which are actually aided with that selenium water, the girls in those villages, they are not getting married. So many deformities are coming in them because of the selenium problem. So for that reason, these are all because of over exploitation of groundwater. So groundwater sustainability is very much required. But if you want to cut it, if you want to stop it,
indirect impact on
regulation
society.
has come. Regulation has come from 1997 by the verdict of by the directive of Honorable Supreme Court of India. It is there now. Groundwater regulation, it prevails in our country. But if you want to stop it, the total, that is agrarian system, then that food security, many things are entangled with it, are having some direct linkage. For that reason, if you stop it, so there will be huge problem. So many lobby, you can say many lobby, many politics, whatever you are actually uttering, these are all connected with the use.
It's a complex problem.
So it's a very complex problem. So to stop it, it is very important. Stop it, it is very
Important and difficult also.
no, it is a difficult proposition, but people should know, common people.
Okay.
For that reason, all the people, everybody, it is everybody's job now to make the common people who are not understanding, who are farmers, to make them understand that we should minimize our water use. We should minimize. There should be various other I mean, they say crop water efficiency, water efficient systems, like we heard of sprinkler, drip, etc. That so that with minimum water per drop, one crop, this type of many slogans has come. So
Yeah.
with some small water, less amount of water, we should go for huge cropping. There should be crop diversification. We should not, suppose where there is no water, we should not venture for wheat or paddy. We
And
should
sir,
not.
It is opening up a subject on agriculture also.
Yes. All are connected. All are interconnected. Agriculture, you see, in arsenic infested areas, that arsenic is entering into the food chain. In the rice, it is going into the rice, or many other edible things what we are eating. There also arsenic is entering. So in milk also sometimes it is going, because the cows, they eat all this arsenic. I mean, those grass, whatever.
And pesticides also. Right?
So in this regard, the people should understand first. The users, what are users, who are primary stakeholders, they must understand that it is there, and there's a big role for the agriculturist as also the planners, so that we can go for water efficient irrigation, water efficient cropping, and also diversification of cropping, so that less amount of, because we cannot give up. First is food security, as also we cannot forget, as also the water security we have to restore. For that reason, we must go for that water efficient systems everywhere, even in toilet also. Toilet, there should be water recycling. Many other things, it is a very complex thing. We should go for water zero. So there should be water recycling. No water should be wasted. There should be zero discharge mechanism from the industrial effluents. Only effluent should go, but there should not any water. It should go for water recycling. So for that reason, in this way, we can actually restore our water sustenance. As you are telling that water sustainability, which is a sustainable development goal.
Jargon is okay. That sustainability word, they are okay, but achieving those sustainability is
so for that reason, it is very important, and everybody should take interest, right from politician to everybody, every common people also, so that the grassroots users, those who are actually using water for agriculture, etc. Agriculture, they are actually highest water user. So they should understand, and they should adopt all these changes, efficient system, crop diversification. They should take all these changes. Then only it is possible.
Sir, when it is so important, this groundwater hydrology and all these things, then why groundwater hydrology remains I should say an underrated science in water resources? So that is my view. So if you agree, so can you speak for the viewers also?
Actually, I want to tell everybody, in our country, that this consultancy work in groundwater, in water resources rather, in groundwater, it was mostly actually covered, and it was governed by the engineering fraternity, engineering people. Since long. In very small places that geologists or hydrogeologists they were entering. But gradually, as the water crisis is coming, now the necessity, it is now very clear that yes, that hydrogeologists or that earth scientists who know about groundwater, their role, they are also having a big role. They understand where the water remains, how much water is there, what are the problems. They say, as I was telling you about that qualitative problem.
Yeah.
It is coming from rocks, it is coming from sediments, how it is coming, that mechanism, etc. In that regard, these geoscientists who deal with groundwater, they are having big role. So in this way, actually, it was so-called underrated, and people are not coming much. And nowadays, actually, professionally educated people, even from the geological side also, they should come. Many places you may find that there are many, those are teachers, etc. They are sometimes they go for that professionalism, but more and more field people, they should come for these things, where actually these things are, all types of works are there. So if a team having that groundwater professionals having good knowledge on the hydrology, and also the hydrologist, that civil engineers from engineering side, they make a big team where there will be good that modelers, etc., and also environmental engineers, environmental the geologists, all while they will combine, then all these type of studies, especially the consultancy work, that will take a good path, and all good solutions will start coming.
Okay, sir. In that case, I see a bright future for this groundwater hydrology consultancy work. So my question to you will be, what initiatives the consulting house should take to make it a better and organized form of consultancy specific to this groundwater hydrology, or maybe surface water hydrology also?
Good question. Good question. Actually, so far it is in the engineering fraternity or engineering discipline. This is very much well coordinated, because many of your engineers, they join the private consultancy work since beginning, since
from our career,
time,
start
I
of
can
the
say
career.
time immemorial. Say after independence or prior to that, people started working for private. I know many. In English time also, people are actually doing all these type of consultancy works. But in case of that earth science or geological discipline, where it is now, as we were discussing, it is very much important. It is now playing a very big role. So so now these wing also, they should be very much well coordinated. So the entire work, that consultancy work in the team made by the engineers, consultancy work in the team made by the earth scientist or the hydrogeological people, that becomes much more well organized, so that the entire work or the team work of any, suppose a big house, they are having this wing, so that it will produce good works. So in that regard, in my view, suppose there are 2-3 types of discipline also in this field, earth scientist field. They actually they form this. First comes hydrogeologist, then comes geophysicist, and also those who are very good in qualitative way, hydrogeochemist, etc. It may be a chemist also, may pick up geology and become a good geochemist, or a geologist can easily inherently can enter into this discipline. If all these things are very much coordinated, geophysics also sometimes they are playing very good role, because now the necessity, because water hunting is now a very big, because at depth we don't know where there, especially in the hard rocks, in alluvial areas or sedimentary areas, you may get some water in the sandy layers. But in case of hard rocks, unless there are fractures, unless there are fractured conduits, or some fissure or some weak plains, you won't get water. And only in the top weather residuum, where that dug wells, etc. are formed, there some water remains. So unless you can find out these locales, you won't get water. And many parts of our country, even the Purulia district, Bankura district, a part of Bankura district, part of Jharkhand district, and in our state, in West Bengal, it is like this. In a major part of Odisha and in the entire South India, where the hard rocks are there, in Maharashtra, in major part of Gujarat, in part of Rajasthan also, MP, in all these areas, that it is underlain by hard rocks. There where getting water is a big problem. You won't get water. There the geophysical instruments nowadays playing very, very big role. Many good instruments have come which can find out, locate you the water, but it should be properly interpreted. So in this regard also, I want to tell to the viewers that while you are actually reading your subject, while you suppose you are liking the subject hydrogeology, you must learn it by heart. You know the principles and then try to go to the field and try to correlate those things. Otherwise, only bookish knowledge won't work. You must be a field lover. You must know how in the field all these things what you have read in the books, those are working. Then only you will get gradually that working knowledge on groundwater, whatever. And you should, suppose you are working for government or you are working for a PSU or a private, but your always your search, your knowledge, your intention, your attention should be towards the field and to see what is happening and how it is happening, and also hydrological test. As I was telling you, these people are actually not taking much interest unless there is hydrological test and monitoring and their interpretation. Nowadays, groundwater modeling is a big subject, but in our country especially, the modeling is not doing in a good way, because people are not generating good data unless there is some good data. Ultimately, ultimately it will be a gigo. You will enter some, you will enter some bad things. Ultimately, some result will come that won't match with the thing. And the days are coming. People will be challenged through litigation. You have to pay more what you are getting. So these type of things you should gather. You should learn good knowledge. The geophysicists, they should also understand what is happening beneath. I have seen some persons, the geophysicists, they find that suppose there is a granitic terrain, granite, because it is a hard rock. Below granite, they are interpreting some sand. Because they only know machine language, they don't understand the earth science. They don't show much interest on that. They are very much keen to their machine and what is coming from the machine. Suppose machine is giving some low resistivity,
so they can easily
interpret. I have seen few of my colleagues. They sometimes suppose there is some very low resistivity clay can give, low resistivity saline water also can give, because it will pass high current, so it will give less resistivity. So they sometimes it is misunderstood. Clay is called, it is water is saline. In this way, some saline water is there. So in this regard, if you don't know what is actually beneath, you must know that for the viewers, suppose some students or anybody from earth science field, you are listening to me. We have a big subject, that is stratigraphy of an area. How the deposition or how the geological formations from very old to the current time, those were formed and their interrelation, and which one is younger, which one is older, what is their geological, that is mineralogical compositions, because these are all interconnected. Suppose groundwater is going inside, what is the geological formation? Depending upon its mineral content, its water content will change, because it will react with the water. Groundwater will react with the mineral, and ultimately how the arsenic came, how fluoride came, how uranium came. These are all coming from the rocks or sediments. So for that reason, everybody should know the geology, geological history, the mineral composition, condition of deposition. I have talked to many of my friends in ONGC. I learned while working in Tripura. I learned many things from them, because they discover up to 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers beneath. But in case of groundwater, it is say only 500, 400, 500 meters maximum. 200, 300 nowadays in our country. It is now 300 meters, up to 300 meters depth we are exploring in case of alluvial formation, but in hard rock it is 200. But ONGC, they are exploring up to 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers in search of oil or gas. So from them, I could know many things about the hidden or history of the geological formations and their condition. What is the condition there? So that gave me also lot of knowledge, and I could know many things about the northeast geology and subsurface. So
Thank
in
you.
this regard, I must request everybody, those who want to come to this profession as you are asking about how to strengthen this
And
consultancy
organize it.
and organizing it. For that reason, the hydrogeochemist, geophysicist, geologist, they must hydrogeologist. They read their subject and match it with the field, and also do all these hydrological tests. You must be knowing about geophysicists must know there must be a good interpreter of the geophysical result, and ultimately they should have good knowledge about the geology. Otherwise, they cannot correlate it with the machine. What is the machine data? So all these things should be there. A chemist who is working for quality, he must know from what geological formation it is there. Otherwise, only doing some chemical analysis, they will find some subject, but how it has come, they cannot correlate it. So for that reason, all that knowledge sharing, knowledge gaining, and all this will strengthen this house. I mean, this consultancy part, consultancy wing, so that the entire research on or consultancy work on water resources as a whole, engineers are doing since, as I was telling, pre-independence. But in geological people, they were not doing. So all these things, when all these things will club, the team will be much more organized. And because we are heading towards a very serious future regarding water availability, so in this regard, this type of research, this type of work, this type of consultancy will certainly assure our better and sustainable future. Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you, sir. We are coming to the end of our session. So my last question will be, sir, take rest first.
No. I mean rest.
My last question will be, it is this type of podcast with professionals like you is my new initiative. So my question is how this initiative will benefit our society and our engineering fraternity. So according to you, just give me in brief.
As you have named it, that
Consultant's view.
Consultant's view. That is the
view.
Yeah. This is say it is your mission that suppose what consultants should do, and this type of things you want to promulgate, you want to make spread over the people to the people. So in this regard, certainly it's a good initiative, and I as I was telling you, as we have discussed today. Say we are heading towards a very water scarce future.
Yeah.
We are heading. So how to get rid of? So in this regard, people must know, both educated and non-educated, common people, learned people, wise people. Everybody should know. And I am not knowing many things about electronics. I don't many things about many parts of engineering, also literature and many things. I have not read. I don't know. I am very illiterate. So we must be a learner. We must be a learner. So in this way, in this type of podcast, those who are listening, they should take some interest that okay, such type of channel is actually working, and sometimes they are giving this type of, because I want to do some future with some water science or some water engineering. So it's a good channel. So I must listen to them what they say. I must get some idea, get some impetus, some knowledge
for your next step.
So it's a good step. I must congratulate you for
Thank
this.
you, sir. Thank you. And for your participation, I want to give you a certificate for your participation. Please accept it from my end. Thank you.